March 15th, 1974. Somewhere deep in the Arctic Circle, a classified Soviet expedition vanished without explanation. No survivors, no official records, no evidence the facility ever existed. Until now. What you are about to hear was reconstructed from fragmented transmissions, recovered documents, and emergency recordings hidden for decades beneath military archives. This is the story of Arctic Sector 7 and why it was erased from history. The storm arrived first. Winds exceeding 100 kilometers per hour buried the entire coastline beneath snow and ice. For 3 weeks, contact with the outside world became impossible. But Sector 7 remained active. Officially, the facility did not exist. Unofficially, it was one of the Soviet Union's most secret scientific projects. Built beneath frozen mountains deep under the Arctic surface, the complex housed experimental research far beyond conventional science. Nobody truly knew what they were studying down there until Expedition Log 36. At 3:14 a.m., the first emergency transmission was received. The signal was weak, distorted, barely understandable, but one sentence repeated over and over. "Do not go below level 6. Then the transmission ended. Silence followed for exactly 19 hours. A recovery team was assembled immediately. Military personnel, engineers, researchers. Their mission was simple: reach Sector 7, restore communication, retrieve surviving personnel. But the moment they arrived, they realized something was wrong. The facility was still powered. Lights flickered beneath the snow. Ventilation systems remained active. But outside, there were no guards, no vehicles, no footprints, nothing. The main entrance had frozen shut from the inside, as if someone desperately tried to keep something contained. The recovery team forced their way through the blast doors at 21:42 p.m., and that was the moment the expedition truly began. Inside, the corridors were empty, still warm. Coffee cups remained on desks, documents scattered across laboratory floors, meals untouched. It looked like everyone had vanished within seconds. No signs of evacuation, no signs of battle, only silence. And the deeper they moved into the complex, the stranger the facility became. Entire residential sectors were abandoned. Children's classrooms remained perfectly intact. A movie still played inside the underground theater. Metro tunnels stretched endlessly beneath the ice. An entire hidden city, buried below the Arctic, forgotten. Then they discovered level 6. The elevator refused to respond. Security protocols had manually sealed the lower sectors, but someone, or something, had recently reopened them. That should have been impossible. At 4:16 a.m., motion sensors activated beneath the laboratory district. The team initially believed survivors were moving below them, but the thermal readings showed something else. The signal was too large, too cold, and moving too fast. That was when they heard it for the first time. Not footsteps, not machinery, something alive, breathing inside the walls. Emergency recordings recovered later described severe psychological distress among the team. One engineer claimed the facility itself was changing. Hallways appeared different, doors opened where walls previously existed, radio frequencies repeated voices from missing personnel, including some who had died decades earlier. Then came the blackout. For 17 seconds, the entire station lost power. When emergency lights returned, one member of the expedition was gone. No blood, no struggle, only a flashlight spinning slowly across the floor. The remaining team attempted evacuation immediately, but the upper exits no longer responded. Containment protocols had activated automatically. Sector 7 sealed itself completely. Whatever existed below level 6 was no longer contained. Security footage from Corridor P-07 captured the first visual confirmation. At exactly 4:29 a.m., a humanoid figure appeared at the end of the hallway, tall, distorted. Its body moved unnaturally, almost incomplete. Then the recording cut to static. The camera was never recovered. Over the next hour, the situation collapsed entirely. Laboratories lost pressure. Entire sectors caught fire. Internal communications dissolved into screams and fragmented emergency codes. One transmission simply repeated, "It knows we are here." Then came the final order. Protocol, clean sky. Total destruction of Sector 7. No rescue, No recovery, no witnesses. Explosives were placed throughout the lower reactor systems, while evacuation helicopters attempted extraction above the surface. But by then, the entity had already reached the upper sectors. Survivors described massive biological structures emerging through corridors and ventilation shafts. Something ancient, something impossible, something that should not exist beneath the ice. The final footage shows soldiers running through collapsing hallways as the facility tears itself apart around them. Outside, the Arctic sky burned red, and beneath the storm, something enormous rose from the frozen mountains. At 5:47 a.m., Arctic Sector 7 disappeared from all official maps. Satellite images later showed nothing but collapsed ice and burning debris. The Soviet government denied the operation ever happened. Every document was classified. Every survivor disappeared. Every recording destroyed, except one. The final transmission was intercepted by a naval vessel leaving the Arctic zone. A single exhausted voice whispered, "We did not find it beneath the ice. It was waiting for us." Then the signal ended forever. Today, no official reference to Sector 7 exists, but fragments continue to appear across abandoned archives and military databases. Coordinates erased, names blacked out, entire pages missing, as if someone is still trying to hide what happened beneath the Arctic ice. And maybe for good reason. Because some places should never be discovered, and some things should never wake up. Silent Atlas. Places that should not exist.